This tutorial is for mile marker 3, practice 1, question 2. When we read question 2, the first thing we want to do is identify what type of question it is, and you'll notice that we're given two sides of a triangle and we're asked to find a third side. So in our introduction tutorial, we said that's when we use the Pythagorean theorem. So the first thing I might do if I were you on question 2, I might write Pythagorean theorem or some abbreviation. You could also probably just write PT. Okay, let's review because there's essentially two types of Pythagorean theorem problems. One is when you are finding the hypotenuse. So in this picture, if you knew what A and B were, we would square A, square B, add them together, and that would give us C squared. But in this problem, we know the hypotenuse. We know 32 is the hypotenuse because it's directly opposite that 90-degree angle. So we're actually looking for a leg. Since we're looking for the leg is either A or B. So what I might even do is I might label this. It really doesn't matter which is A and which is B, but it does matter that C is the hypotenuse. And I might label this and say, okay, if A squared plus B squared is C squared, I'm really going to use C squared minus A squared equals, that does not look like an equal sign, B squared. All right, so we're actually going to subtract the squared leg from the squared hypotenuse. We'll definitely want to use a calculator for this to do the math. So that's going to be, we said our hypotenuse is 32. So 32 squared. The leg we're given is 17, so minus 17 squared is going to give us our side B squared. Now when you fill this in, you might want to just go ahead and replace it with x since that's what we're solving for. So now in our calculator, we could go ahead and do those calculations, 32 squared minus 17 squared, and what we should get for x is 735. Excuse me, for x squared, not for x. All right, so that's not your final answer. So remember, we just want the value of x, and that means we're going to have to take the square root of both sides. So the square root of 735 will give us x, and we're going to plug that into the calculator, and we're going to round to 3 decimal places. So we should get approximately 27 and 111 thousandths. That's our approximate value for x. So the final answer on the mile marker here is 27 and 111 thousandths.